prayer, believing Christ for Christ, that is, depriving ourselves of spiritual sweetnesses in order to gain souls. It is good for a man to go from prayer rather with an appetite and desire to return to it, than satiated and weary. The wisdom of the scriptures is learned rather by prayer than by study. Aid a diligent charity in ministering to the sick is a compendious way to the acquisition of perfect virtue. 9, let women remain indoors and look after their families, and not be desirous of going into public. We must pray incessantly for the gift of perseverance. We must not leave off our prayers because of distractions and restlessness of mind, although it seems useless to go on with them. He who perseveres for the whole of his accustomed time, gently recalling his mind to the subject of his prayer, merits greatly. If in times of dryness in prayer we make acts of humility, self-knowledge, protestations of our own inability to help ourselves, and petitions for God's assistance, all this is real and substantial prayer. 13, the best remedy for dryness of spirit is to picture ourselves as beggars in the presence of God and the saints, and like a beggar to go first to one saint, then to another to ask a spiritual alms of them with the same earnestness as a poor fellow in the streets would ask an alms of us. We may ask a spiritual alms even corally, by going first to the church of one saint, and then to the church of another to make our petition. Without prayer, a man will not persevere long in spirituality. We must have recourse to this most powerful means of salvation every day. If young men wish to protect themselves from all danger of impurity, let them never retire to their own rooms immediately after dinner, either to read or write or do anything else, but let them remain in conversation. Because at that time the devil is wont to assault us with more than usual vehemence. And this is that demon which is called in Scripture the noonday demon, and from which holy David prayed to be delivered. If young men would preserve their purity, let them avoid bad company. 18, let them also avoid nourishing their bodies delicately. It is God's custom to interweave human life with a trouble and a consolation, at least of an interior sort alternately. 20, young men should be very careful to avoid idleness. 21, when fathers have given their sons a good education and put everything clearly and distinctly in train for them, the sons who succeed them and continue to follow the road marked out for them will have the advantage of seeing their family persevere in holy ways and in the fear of God. In order to preserve their purity, young men should frequent the sacraments, especially confession. We must never trust ourselves, for it is the devil's way first to get us to feel secure and then to make us fall. We ought to fear and fly temptations of the flesh even in sickness and in old age itself, and so long as we can open and shut our eyelids, for the spirit of incontinence gives no truce either to place, time, or person. Our sweet Christ, the Word incarnate, has given himself to us for everything that was necessary for us, even to the hard and ignominious death upon the cross. One of the most efficacious means of keeping ourselves chaste is to have compassion for those who fall through their frailty, and never to boast in the least of being free, but with all humility to acknowledge that whatever we have is from the mercy of God. To be without pity for other men's falls is an evident sign that we shall fall ourselves shortly. In the matter of purity, there is no greater danger than the not fearing the danger. When a man does not distrust himself and is without fear, it is all over with him. He who wishes to be wise without the true wisdom, or saved without the Savior, is not well, but sick is not wise, but a fool. True devotion to the Blessed Virgin is actually necessary, because there is no better means of obtaining God's graces than through his most holy mother. Free men should force themselves to be obedient, even in little things which appear of no moment, because it will thus render the practice of obedience in great matters easy to himself. He who always acts under obedience may rest assured that he will not have to give an account of his actions to God. Perfection does not consist in such adversities, which God sends us without reasoning too much upon them, and we must take for granted that it is the best thing which can happen to us. Instead, we must always remember that God does everything well, although we may not see the reason of what He does. Everyone ought to give in, whether really to the opinion of another, and to argue in favor of another and against himself, and take things in good parts. There's nothing more to the purpose for exciting a spirit of prayer than the reading of spiritual books. 13. Let a man frequent the holy sacraments, go to sermons and be often reading the lives of saints. Let a man always think that he is God before his eyes. When a man is in an occasion of sin, let him look what he is doing, get himself out of the occasion and avoid the home. There is nothing good in this world. Fighting does, fighting does. It's all your fighting does. 17, we must die at last. 18, beginners in religion ought to exercise themselves principally in meditation. On the far last days, 19, he who does not go down into hell while he is alive runs a great risk of going there after he is dead. 20, the greatest help to perseverance in the spiritual life is the habit of prayer, especially under the direction of our confessor. 21, there is nothing the devil fears so much, or so much tries to hinder his prayer. And an excellent method of preserving ourselves from relapsing into serious faults is to say every evening, tomorrow I may be dead. 23, young men without prayer is an animal without the use of reason. The religious state is indeed the highest, but it is not suitable for all. 25, a most excellent means of learning how to pray is to acknowledge ourselves unworthy of such a benefit and to put ourselves entirely into the hands of the Lord. 26, the true preparation for prayer consists in the exercise of mortification. For he who wishes to give himself up to prayer without mortification is like a bird wishing to fly before it is fledged. We can never arrive at the captain's hand in life if we do not first exercise ourselves laboriously in the active life. 21. To meditate on the passion, we must not wish to meditate on some other mystery. 21. When a person goes to communion, he ought to follow the same spirit he had in prayer and not be casting about for new meditations. When shall we have a mind to begin to do good? Tu nulla dies sine linea. Do not let a day pass without doing some good during it. We must not be behind time in doing good, for death will not be behind his time. For happy is the youth, because he has time before him to do good. It is well to choose some one good devotion, and to stick to it, and never to abandon it. He who wishes for anything but Christ does not know what he wishes. He who asks for anything but Christ does not know what he is asking. He who works and not for Christ does not know what he is doing. Let no one wear a mask, otherwise he will do ill, and if he has one, let him burn it. Spiritual persons ought to be equally ready to experience sweetness and consolation in the things of God, or to suffer and keep their ground in drynesses of spirit and devotion, and for as long as God pleases, without their making any complaint about it. 9. God has no need of men. 10. If God be with us, there is no one else left to fear. He who wishes to be perfectly obeyed should give but few orders. 12 a man should keep himself down and not busy himself in mirabilibus super se. 13 men should often renew their good resolutions and not lose heart because they are tempted against them. 14. The name of Jesus, pronounced with reverence and affection, has a kind of power to soften the heart. 15. Obedience is a shortcut to perfection. 16. They who really wish to advance in the ways of God must give themselves up into the hands of their superiors always and in everything, and they who are not living under obedience must subject themselves of their own accord to a learned and discreet confessor, whom they must obey in the place of God, disclosing to him with perfect freedom and simplicity the affairs of their soul, and they should never come to any resolution without his advice. 17. There is nothing which gives greater security to our actions, or more effectually cuts the snares the devil lays for us, than to follow another person's will, rather than our own, in doing good. 18. Before a man chooses his confessor, he ought to think well about it, and pray about it also. But when he has once chosen, he ought not to change, except for most urgent reasons, but put the utmost confidence in his director. When the devil has failed in making a man fall, he puts forward all his energies to create distrust between the penitent and the confessor. And so, by little and little, he gains his end at last. 20. Let persons in the world sanctify themselves in their own houses, for neither the court, professions, or labor are any hindrance to the service of God. 20. Obedience is the true holocaust which we sacrifice to God on the altar of our hearts. 22. In order to be really obedient, it is not enough to do what obedience commands. We must do it without reasoning upon it. 20. Our Blessed Lady ought to be our love and our consolation. 24. The good works which we do of our own will are not so meritorious as the
you know what I mean? Now we're on fiat currency. They're fucking monkeying with interest rates. The M2 money supply increased by fucking 3.5% post-COVID. What is it? Every 2 out of every three, or no, it's like 2 out of every $3 that are in existence right now are in existence post-COVID. And then like you go through the largest wealth transfer in history, and then you start looking through all of this shit, and then it's just like, dude, I don't want to talk about fucking God anymore. I don't want to fucking talk about fucking Christianity. And yeah, I've changed. I've been radicalized because I've heard all this crazy shit and this God hating and this like Fox intellectualism bullshit. Yeah. And it's like, and not only that, while it's happening, society's disintegrating around me. Everyone's more polarized. Everybody hates.
I can't tell if he's cutting out or if I'm cutting out.
He is.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, he's cutting out. I will say that, like, I definitely see the investment banker mind. Like, your mind and my mind work very similarly. It's interesting. I think you and I have arrived at different opinions and conclusions.
Yeah, I don't know. All the while, here's my last sentence. All the while, we're all distracted, fighting each other.
Yeah.
They're consolidating more and more power, more and more wealth, and more technology than they ever have, and we're right on the verge of some fucking AI fucking like super fucking moment or whatever, and here we are arguing amongst ourselves, and we're all mad at each other, and blah 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 blah, and all it's like it's just a disaster, man.
Yeah.
And that's why I've become radicalized. That's why I'm crazy, and that's why I'm mad. I'm mad that I'm mad that I didn't get the same opportunity as my grandfather. My grandfather, this motherfucker, fucking boomer, literally gets straight out of high school, marries his high school sweetheart, has kids, never went on Tinder, never seen only a handful of hot girls in real life in his whole life. Okay, fucking married her, never divorced her, bought a house after working like 2 summers. Okay, owned multiple homes, owned multiple cars, you know what I mean? He just had abundance his whole life. His family unit was intact. Divorce rates were low. He just got cut a good deal. And then you look at the deal that I'm cut. The average year of home ownership right now is 40. Okay. The average age of marriage right now is upper 20s. The average age of the first child right now is upper 20s. And then you realize that like my generation was like literally robbed. So yeah, I'm fucking radicalized.
Yeah.
Why? Because fucking I'm trying to look at it from a broader perspective, you know, and I don't hate people, even though I do come off hateful sometimes.
Yeah, you should just control that more. You'd be so much more relatable for people if you stopped doing that. To be honest, you'd get there faster. You wouldn't need all of this. It feels like when you do that, when you start off with the hate, it's like some theatrical pull-in for some people, maybe, and maybe that's who you're trying to pull in. So maybe strategically that's helpful for you. But I think if you want more people to hear you out, you could do a little less of that. I don't think you need to waste all that time. It sounds like such an emotional drain. Truthfully.
And then the worst part about it is that I'm kind of passionate. This isn't like an intellectual pursuit for me. It's not like I care about this stuff. Like I care about, you know, our future and our kids' future, and the fact, like they said, Gen Z is never gonna so you hear that. These people are crazy. They literally think that this is the recipe to a stable society. It's unbelievable.
So there's a lot there's a lot I don't agree with you on, but there's a lot I do, and I have thoughts. They're just not going to be very intelligent right now, but I hear you, and I'm somebody who's like feminism really relies on an understanding of class and not upward mobility, but focusing on like the poor man is like my starting point. And I think there's been a lot I think you're right in the sense that there's a lot of like newness to the structures that we have that we're still getting used to. But I also agree with you that I think identity politics of like, if I'm thinking about my own like political theology, I think we've really gotten distracted by identity politics, even though I think it's really important to still address inequality. But I think we focus on it so much, and it's such an elite project that we forget about class. So what I appreciate about what you're saying, even though there's a lot of things I think you mix up, and I think with a little bit more life experience and whatever you might get to that, or exposure, you might get to some of those things, clarify those things more. But yeah, I think you're right. And like when I look at the social movements and like after 2008, like we had a really robust class analysis in like the populist movements between 2008 and 2012, and then Occupy really freaked people out, and then it like almost immediately it became about identity politics. And I think that that's a transition worth noting. I try to talk about that in my dissertation, because I think there's a significant shift there. Because then who makes it? I think part of it is that they're trying to diagnose like who becomes part of the 1%. And I think blaming it on just like quote unquote white men is like not sufficient.
Yeah, I mean, I think that if you look at all the stuff that happened in and around the like larger financial crisis and meltdown and stuff like that, I think you gotta get that like the whole Occupy Wall Street thing, I think, is kind of an important moment, because if you knew how if everyone really knew the levity and the seriousness of what had actually occurred and what it all actually meant, I think that most people would understand Occupy Wall Street. And they have such a good way of spinning it and obscuring it and putting people against each other.
Oh, I'm losing you.
And by the time that COVID hit, well prepared. And actually, the time that COVID hit, they were so well prepared. They executed COVID so perfectly. It was unbelievable. And they had already had all the division right away, and so it was already a wrap. But the 2008 financial crisis was also like COVID in a very similar way, where like they were both massive wealth transfers, and where essentially they were both I mean, they were both public bailouts. Anytime that you print money or you take, taxpayer money or whatever, and then you use that to, bail out like Wall Street, like you did, or you just turn on the money printers like in COVID, you're essentially the general public is footing the bill. Mm-hmm. And so they capture the kind of so when they print money like that, they fucking know how to basically align themselves so that all the things kind of fall into their hands early, and that they reap the benefits of all the freshly printed money. Mm-hmm. And then by the time you get the money in your hands, it's like fully saturated and debased by that time, and then you just see like crazy inflation. And so,
Can I ask how old you are?
Me, I'm 40, so I grew up in the 90s. I went to high school. I graduated in like 2003. I had this before smartphones.
Can I ask you something? I'm so sorry, Shay. Or is it Shy?
Yeah, it's Shay.
It's your bio. It's a person.
Bio?
Your bio. It is sarcasm, the things that is written there, that you are a white nationalist and stuff like that.
I have a weird view about that view of Zionism. It's probably
not Zionism. I don't care about that part. I mean about you being a white nationalist.
Oh, about that part? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Do you have some questions or something, or
are you being sarcastic, or is it for real?
It's for real.
Okay, no problem. I just wanted to know. You can't say what you wanted.
Bambi, this is the second room that we're in. I think we talked with Tam the other day. It's great to see you. I want to talk to you at some point about the conversation we had the other day, but not right now.
Okay. I'm so sorry. I forgot the conversation.
Oh, no. We were in that. We were having a conversation about like normative ideas of men and women and the roles that they play.
Okay. Yes, I remember. Okay, yes.
Just so you know, I don't mean.
Is that Benji? Is this room open? Menti, are you there?
You know that. Everybody knows who that is. That's Big Teeth. Rick Ross' baby mama. I know that she.
Where Marduk is the national god of Babylon, and he creates human beings and everything else there is to go with it, including the creations. Creators are the Anunnaki. In my opinion, these are my opinion, folks. Please do your own research. So this is a permanent legal document conferred upon
the Anunnaki. The Anunnaki permanent legal documentation. You heard it all, folks. It's
Saturn,
just my opinion.
Jupiter, Venus, we're talking the universe.
Wow.
That is a large area.
Wow.
His attitude towards the greatest God gives him power over the other Anunnaki gods, and his ability to
other Anunnaki gods
circumstances back into the original state, redefining the course of fate. It is major literary motif.
Holy shit, major literary motifs. The Anunnaki legal documents. All right, I guess we're going to go back to some music.
It's like, it's kind of like a plot. It's like, of course, like, it's great. Like, yeah, of course. Like, and it's, be proud and, and all this stuff and pride. all this, but anything that would do the same thing about white self-interest would literally be racist.
So I mean, Shay, you're saying you're a proud white man.
You know what I'm saying? And what I'm saying is I don't want society to be organized in such a way that I have white guilt. I don't want society to be organized in such a way that if I were to have, let me give you just one example, because this bothered me. I walked into Walmart like more than 2 months ago, and when I walked in, keep in mind that the area that I'm in is primarily a black area. But I walked into this Walmart, and there's a sweatshirt sitting on the rack, and it said, I can't remember exactly, but essentially it was the outline of Africa, and it said something about African pride or something like that. There was one that said like proud to be melanated or something. Literally a shirt that said melanated and proud. And I was they were kind of like side by side, like almost like they were like, here's the little racial kind of shirts. And when I thought about it, I said, oh my God, if that fucking sweatshirt had an outline of Europe and said like white pride, that would be racist, and that would be, dude, first of all, went loud in Walmart to begin with. And then I looked at the other shirt, and I'm like, oh my God, you know, it's like, it's basically the fact that, and here's another thing, there's one other conversation, I was in the gym about, this was maybe a year ago, and there was a black firefighter, this gym I go to has like a lot of like firefighters and a lot of guys in the military. So this guy looks good, man. He's an older black guy, he's in shape, firefighter, boom. This kid comes up and the kid's like talking about firefighting, and the kid's like, oh man, are they, you know, he's younger, man. Oh, are they recruiting? You know, the black guys, the guys that they're both black men, you know, the younger black, the older black guy, he's a firefighter. So yeah, they're recruiting. And then he goes like this, he says like out loud, he's like, and they do a good job about, you know, hiring young black men. And he was basically saying that, like, you have a really good chance, because, you know, you're like a young black man, stuff like that. It was like saying it like out loud in like a public restroom. And I was saying, dude, imagine if I was sitting there telling a white guy, like, hey, bro, you're in there because you're white. You know what I mean, bro? Like, we hire white people.
Can I say something? Oh.
Shay, you're so close. I think you would be better, like, so you and I share a similar critique about kind of the overemphasis on identity. So, you know, even the fact that like there's something being constructed in some sort of like monolithic way, where there's something called blackness or black, as if it's all like a monolithic thing, and then we see it like in the marketplace, like what you just described in this like really like individual example. But I've been studying this like in a broader collective way, so I see how this becomes like identities become brands, and I also see how this like shapes policy, and I also see how this is impacting things like civil society, and I think that there are like different levels of analysis that you could have. I know you're not. You don't claim to be
Made
this,
Clubhouse even better. Simultaneous music, so
I think are really useful.
it's like hiding the speech in the music even.
And actually are very close to some of the aspects that I remember getting pretty good, right? For example. But I think that the cynicism you have and the disappointment you have about the whiteness part of it, it would be better.
The whiteness. When I look in the mirror, do I see like a white piece of paper? These people describe humans as white or black. They're so stupid. It's not, that means nothing. These are the dumbest people wasting all their time doing politicking. This is their politic. This is Bird's politicking. Wasting all their time.
He's very close. I think he's very smart. I feel like reading his bio really
Don't what I'm saying, Andy, his bio is like a conversation.
I know.
no shadows chase, no voices calm. The air is still, it wraps me tight. No fear, no sin, no way to bear. The sweetness whispers everywhere. Sweetness of solitude fills my veins. Strong firm rivers wash my chains. No need for gold, no need for fame. This quiet place, it knows my The gift of health, it lights my way. Contentment blooms where I choose to stay. Trust is the bridge where hearts align. No fear, no sin, no way to bear. And the sweetness whispers everywhere. Sweetness of solitude fills my veins. Tread rivers wash my chains. No need for gold, no need for fame. This quiet place, it knows my No fire burn like passion wild. No losing through like hatred piled. This body aches, a cage of stone. Rest whispers soft, the only throne. Hunger's the beast, the sharpest sting. Body cries, its constant claim. But hold to truly see nirvana awaits. It sets us free. Pain walks close, a shadowed friend. Each step we take, it will attend. But joy lies quiet, just out of view. A higher peak, a sky so blue. Feel the weight, feel it break. Every this fight, but higher still, beyond the fray, rest calls my name, and I let us live, let us breathe, free as air. No hate, no chains, no despair. Among the shadows, we shine so bright. We carry peace into the night. Happily then, we'll rise again. No hatred, no pain, no bitterness. Happily then, let the light begin. Among the broken, we'll rise Let us walk, let us heal, free from strife. No ailments cling, no weight on life. Among the weary, we'll stand tall. A gentle voice for one its jagged claw. The beast emerges, the gods withdraw. A storm of silence, a broken law. Open, ye open, ye open. I am born to death, reborn on the horn of the unicorn. Ye open, ye open. Ye open, ye open. Ye open, ye open. I am a man. Do as thou wilt, as a God can. Ye open, ye open. By the mystical